Have you ever noticed how alive a dream feels right after you tell someone about it? That rush in your chest, that subtle pride when they say, "Wow, that's amazing." And then something strange happens. The fire cools, the urgency fades. The thing that once kept you awake at night suddenly feels optional. Why does that happen? Why do some of our biggest dreams lose their pulse the moment we give them a voice? Maybe it's not laziness. Maybe it's not discipline. Maybe it's something quieter, something almost invisible. Because sometimes, the moment we speak our dream out loud, we quietly trade the work for the applause. And most of the time, we don't even realize we did it. Daniel was living proof of that. Daniel wasn't dramatic. He wasn't reckless. He was thoughtful, intelligent, the kind of person who spent long evenings staring at his laptop half working, half imagining a different life. Ideas came to him constantly. A fitness transformation, a podcast about mental resilience, a small design studio he dreamed of launching. Each idea felt electric at first, but Daniel had a habit. Before he ever began, he told people, at dinner with friends, on social media, during late-night phone calls, "I'm starting something big. This is going to change everything." And people responded exactly how you'd expect. "That's incredible. You're going to crush it. I'm proud of you already." Already. That word lingered longer than it should have. That night, Daniel would lie in bed staring at the ceiling fan slowly spinning above him. The room dim, city light leaking through the blinds. And strangely, he felt accomplished. But he hadn't done anything yet. Still, his body felt like he had. And the next morning, the energy wasn't the same. It was softer, duller. The dream felt less urgent, like something that could wait. This pattern followed him for years. He would announce, receive validation, feel temporarily fulfilled, then quietly stall. At first he blamed time. "I'm just busy." Then he blamed fear. "Maybe I'm not ready." But late at night, when everything was quiet enough to hear his own thoughts, a more uncomfortable question surfaced. Why do I feel satisfied before I've even begun? One evening, after posting about launching a new creative project, his phone lit up for hours. Likes, comment, encouragement. He sat on the edge of his bed watching notifications stack. A subtle warmth spread through him. This is it, he thought. This is what momentum feels like. But days passed. The laptop stayed closed. The notebook remained blank. And something else slowly began to grow. Shame. Not loud shame. Not dramatic. Just a quiet awareness. He began avoiding conversations with the same friends who had cheered him on. He hated one particular question. "How's that project going?" He would smile casually. "Oh yeah, it's coming along." But internally, it wasn't coming along. It was evaporating, and there was something he never admitted out loud. Sometimes, he realized he enjoyed the announcement more than the effort. The praise was easier than the process. The recognition came faster than the results. And deep down, an uncomfortable thought appeared. Do I actually want the dream? Or do I just want to be seen wanting it? That question stayed with him like a stone in his pocket. Heavy, impossible to ignore. And yet, he repeated the cycle again, until one quiet afternoon changed something. There was no dramatic failure, no public embarrassment, just silence. Daniel had once again decided he would reinvent himself. This time, it felt serious. He told 3 close friends over coffee. They leaned in. They nodded. They encouraged him. Later that night, he stood in his kitchen scrolling through his own social post about it. The room was dark, except for the faint refrigerator light behind him. And then something small caught his attention. On the counter near the sink sat a tiny ceramic bowl his grandmother had once given him. It had a crack running along one side. He had kept it for years, even though he never used it. Daniel picked it up and ran his finger slowly over the fracture. And suddenly he remembered something she once told him while repairing it. She had carefully filled the crack with gold lacquer. Then she smiled and said, Some things grow stronger when they stay protected long enough. He had forgotten that. Daniel stood there staring at the bowl for a long time. No applause had gone into that repair. No audience. No recognition. Just patience. And suddenly something became painfully clear. Every time he announced a dream, he placed it on display before it had roots, like putting a fragile seed on a windowsill instead of planting it in soil. Exposed. Visible. Vulnerable. Without realizing it, he had been feeding his ego instead of feeding the dream. And the ego eats quickly. The dream needs time. Daniel didn't make a dramatic vow. He didn't delete his social media. He simply made a small decision. The next idea would remain private. No announcement. No hint. Just action. The next morning he woke up with a quiet thought. Start. No post. No conversation. He opened his laptop and began outlining his project. Immediately, it felt different. There was no rush of validation. No dopamine spike. Just focus. Some days were boring. Some days were frustrating. Without external praise, the work felt heavier at first. But something unexpected happened. The energy lasted longer. There was no premature satisfaction. No artificial sense of completion. Only progress. Slow. Imperfect. Real. And the most surprising part was this. Without telling anyone, Daniel stopped feeling judged. He wasn't performing ambition anymore. He was building something. Late at night, when the apartment was silent, he would sit with his notes spread across the desk, a small lamp casting a warm circle of light. Outside traffic hummed faintly, and instead of imagining applause, he imagined craftsmanship. He realized something subtle but powerful. When no one knows, you are free to fail privately, free to adjust, free to grow without explanation. Weeks turned into months. The project slowly took shape. There were mistakes, revisions, doubt, but the dream no longer dissolved. It deepened, because this time it had roots, and the pride he felt now was different. It wasn't loud. It didn't need witnesses. It was quiet, steady. One afternoon, a friend visited unexpectedly. They noticed the finished work resting quietly on Daniel's desk. They looked surprised. Wait, when did you do this? Daniel paused, then smiled gently. I've been working on it. No speech, no explanation. And for the first time in his life, Daniel felt something he had never felt before. Peace. Not excitement, not ego. Peace. Maybe you've experienced something like this too. Maybe you've felt that strange rush of being the person with the big plan. Maybe you've noticed how satisfying it feels to talk about the gym before going, the book before writing, the business before building. What if the thing you're fighting isn't laziness? What if it's premature validation? Your brain doesn't fully distinguish between social reward and real achievement. When people praise your intention, your mind experiences a small completion. The edge softens. The hunger fades. And sometimes the silence we avoid is exactly where our strength lives. Because silence protects fragile beginnings. Silence removes performance. Silence forces you to answer one powerful question. Without an audience, do you still want it? If the answer is yes, then build quietly. If the answer is no, you just saved yourself from chasing applause. Your dream is not a performance. It is a seed. And seeds do not grow under spotlights. They grow underground, unseen, uncelebrated, until one day they break through on their own. You don't owe the world an announcement. You don't owe social media your blueprint. You don't owe anyone early access to your becoming. Let your work mature in silence. Let your effort accumulate quietly. Let your results speak when they are ready. And if this story resonated with you, try one thing differently this week. Build something no one knows about, just for you. And when it's strong enough, it won't need an introduction. Until next time, protect your roots, grow in the dark, and let your life speak for itself.